E-commerce has changed a lot in the last few years, and done wrong, you could find yourself broke and burned out very quickly. And that's why in this video, I'm going to share our thoughts on e-commerce from doing it for the last 10 plus years. So our company, the Ecommerce Alley, has worked hands-on with more than 500 brands and trained more than 4,000 through our courses over the last decade. And during that period of time, the landscape has changed quite dramatically. I've seen some brands go from 0 to multiple six figures per month in a matter of months. And I've seen others go bankrupt in less than a year.
Now that's a lot of damage.
I've seen one t-shirt brand struggle to make a few $1,000s a month and another do $50,000 a month, no problem. I've seen low ticket items crush it. I've seen high ticket items crush it. And what's interesting is that this wasn't only recently that I've seen these ebbs and flows. It was throughout the entire 10 plus year journey. Some were crushing it in 2017. Some were failing in 2017. Some were crushing it this year and some were failing this year. Now, during that time, we've noticed some trends in the stores that fail and the stores that create unbelievable time and financial freedom for the owners, as well as just massive fulfillment in their lives. So the question is, does e-commerce really work in 2024? Of course. But there are some critical things you'll need to do and avoid if you want to actually succeed. So whether you're looking to get into e-commerce or you already own an e-commerce store right now, I want to give you 5 things that will make your store fail extremely fast and 5 things that will help you win big and build a wildly successful e-commerce brand that's sustainable and provides a ton of freedom in your life. The first thing that will make your store fail fast is drop shipping items with long shipping times. Back in the day, it was easy to get into e-commerce with tools like AliExpress and integrations with Shopify, but Amazon has standardized fast shipping. So speed is the name of the game. People don't want to wait 5 to 10 processing days for you to ship it out and then 10 to 15 business days to receive their products. Because if you do this, you're likely going to experience tons of chargebacks, poor reviews, back-end customer support nightmares, and customers who, by the way, will never buy from you again. The second thing that will make your store fail fast is being an everything store. Now, these are stores that have navigation menus the size of the Titanic and sell everything under the sun. For example, you might sell t-shirts, but do you need to sell jeans, shirts, shoes, socks, sunglasses, bracelets, and luxury designer handbags? Probably not.
This is awkward.
And this is a classic case of jack of all, master of none. And the problem is, if you don't focus on a particular niche, then your customers are going to struggle to come back or know you for anything. You're going to experience low repurchase rates and very low customer lifetime value. The third thing that will make your store fail fast is not having at least 50% profit margin after cost of goods, credit card processing, and other warehousing or labor-related fees. And the only exception to this is if you're in an industry that has incredibly high lifetime value or you're a subscription brand, because you're going to be able to bridge the gap from those reoccurring orders or repeat purchases in those scenarios. But the reason I say 50% is because when it comes to advertising and predictably acquiring customers, which by the way, I will talk about that in a little bit, it's really hard to do so profitably with less than 50% of built-in profit on the front end. The fourth thing that will make your store fail fast is building your website on anything other than Shopify, WooCommerce, or BigCommerce. And I'm not saying that you can't use website builders like Wix or Weebly or Squarespace, but nearly every time a client begins working with us and is on one of those platforms, they always regret it. The functionality is limiting, there are barely any apps to allow you to do the things necessary to grow your business, and they typically end up moving to Shopify or one of the other ones at some point. So I don't recommend you even start with them. Also, side note, we've never seen a single store scale to any substantial size on Wix, Weebly, or Squarespace. And the fifth thing that will make your store fail fast is not mastering your marketing. Getting your products built on Shopify, that's the bare minimum level of entry.
It's the bare minimum, but you did it.
But the most valuable skill that you can learn as an e-commerce entrepreneur is knowing how to acquire customers consistently who aren't your friends and your family.
We need to move on.
This is typically the dividing line between the stores that thrive and the stores that struggle bus all the way to closing their doors and throwing up their hands and blaming the world. Invest in yourself and your business. Join a Facebook group, take a course, invest in a mentor, subscribe to this channel. Heck, join our free Facebook group that has thousands of e-commerce business owners where we go live with new training every single week. Don't think that if you build it, they will come, because they won't. You need to learn how to attract and convert traffic on your own. Now, if you simply avoid doing those 5 things, you will have a much higher success rate than 99% of e-commerce stores. But I also want to give you 5 things you could do to increase your probability of being a wildly successful e-commerce business and put you in the 0.1%.
That's so nice of you.
Now, the first thing that will help your store win big is creating or sourcing unique products that set you apart from everybody else. And I want you to think of it like this: apples to oranges, not apples to apples. If your products are easy to search on Google Shopping or Amazon and find the identical product, then guess what? People are likely going to do that, and they're going to buy it on Amazon for cheaper with free 1 or 2 day shipping. For example, t-shirts with cliche sayings like live, love, laugh, ha ha ha, is one thing, but t-shirts with super deep Disney references that only super Disney nerds would know is another. If you have a cliche t-shirt brand, you're probably going to lose to Amazon, and it's a battle to the bottom price-wise. But if you have unique designs that somebody else can't easily search and find online because they're unique to you, well, it's a lot easier to acquire customers and have them come back for every new design release that you drop. The second thing that will help your store win big is considering going high ticket. And we consider high ticket products that are $500 or more. This might be $500, $5,000, $10,000, or even more than that, but currently we see products in the high ticket space just absolutely crushing it. We have clients who have been able to go from several thousand or $10,000 a month to $100,000+ months in only a matter of a few months. Now, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of opportunities outside of high ticket, which is where most products are, but it's something worth looking into if you have not yet gotten started or you're looking for an opportunity to bolt on to other products in your existing store. The third thing that will help your store win big is building a multi-product approach to maximize your lifetime value. Some brands, they sell one and done products that get customers, but they offer nothing else that would get those customers to come back. So for example, we once worked with this, it was a hard shell rooftop tent company 5 or 6 years ago. And they had a $3,000+ tent that they sold. And it was great because we could acquire customers profitably on the front end. But the problem was the tent came with a lifetime warranty and there weren't that many additional add-ons worth a whole lot. And so customers would purchase and they pretty much never came back. Each month felt like we were starting over because there wasn't really any lifetime value outside of the first purchase of that customer. And so the easiest way to do this is to look at your current products and say, maybe I can just do more of what I already have. And so think more designs, more scents, more flavors, more sizes, etc. The fourth thing that will help your store win big is knowing how much you can pay to acquire a customer. Our team talks to hundreds of e-commerce businesses in our community every single week. And sadly, most don't know their target cost per acquisition or target return on ad spend. These are important to know because if you don't, you're gonna struggle to make confident decisions when running your ads and getting customers. You have to know precisely how much you can pay before you're upside down on acquiring a customer, and then know what your target goal is. Now, luckily, we have a fancy schmancy spreadsheet that you can go ahead and download in the description of this video that is our KPI calculator, which stands for Key Performance Indicator. And so all you need to do is plug in your numbers, or if you're starting a business, plug in your hypothetical numbers, and it will tell you how much you can pay to acquire a customer on day one and what they're going to be worth in the first 90 days. And the fifth and final thing that will help your store win big is learning how to profitably run paid ads. At the beginning, you'll likely have support from your friends, your family, and maybe you'll go to farmers markets on the weekends, or maybe you even get a little bit of traction with your organic social media. But once that initial phase wears off, that's where the rubber meets the road and the true entrepreneurs are built. You must learn how to acquire customers predictably so that you could just stack the deck with more customers and more customers in your favor who will buy from you over and over again. And the only way to do that is with paid advertising. This could be Google, it could be TikTok, it could be X, or it could be Meta. And our recommendation is to start with Meta advertising because your customers are on that platform. They're on Facebook or they are on Instagram. And you can get massive brand awareness, you can grow your email list, and drive new customers every single day with the right ad strategies. We've used Meta for our own clients to drive more than $70 million in sales over the last few years. And we've worked with some brands that spend hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars per month in the most unique niches that you can imagine. As a side note, if you already have a Facebook Ads Manager and you want to learn our scientific Facebook ad testing methodologies that helps produce tens of millions per year for our clients, then click the link in the description and check out our scientific e-commerce Facebook ads course. That said, does e-commerce really work in 2024? Absolutely, but it looks a lot different than it did over the last few years. And if you avoid and do each of the 5 things that I mentioned earlier, your probability of launching and scaling a profitable and fulfilling e-commerce business is just gonna be much higher. But what I'd love to know from you is what are 1 or 2 takeaways from this video? So drop that in the comments, and while you're down there, click the thumbs up button, and of course, subscribe to the channel where we release new podcast episodes every single week and videos every single week to help you grow your e-commerce business.